Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so tonight we have the Four of Wands. And actually, I have to reset this thing over here real quick. Okay, let's see. Sorry. All right, so we have the Four of Wands. And my goodness, I'm having problems with my timer over here. The Four of Wands, right? And so this has everything to do with kind of completing things or getting to a place where we feel like something is in completion. Okay. I always think of like a project, right? I'm finally done. For me, it's been a big learning process to get my things done. I have ADHD diagnosed, and it just, sometimes you start things and you don't finish them. So whenever I see the Four of Wands, I think, yes, we're going to get this one done today. We're going to get it done. All right. So anyways, I know this is kind of a messy beginning, but we'll just keep going with it. And if you want to like, comment, subscribe, I would love for you to leave a comment. Let me know what's going on with you. I love hearing from each and every one of you. So now we have, it looks like, like a parent and child. Okay, maybe actually two children. Maybe two children. One sitting here, one kind of being swung around here. And then we have kind of the arm, like parent, whoever it is, the parent has their arms out. They're holding on to the kids, kind of swinging them around, playing. Okay, so it does feel like this real deep connection. Here's the thing though, is I feel like there's almost kind of this sense of competition, feeling left out. Maybe you had a sibling who was kind of like what they call the golden child. I guess this is like, I've seen it on Reddit. That's where I got it from. In these kind of groups where they talk about, family issues, and a lot of it's like going no contact, right? I forget what the subreddit is even called. But I used to see, like, if you've ever been over there on Reddit, they have their own language for different subreddits, different names for things. And so the golden child is kind of like the favorite, right? Can do no wrong. A lot of the resources in the family put towards this kid's future. Maybe they were in like sports and, they got the car when they turned 16 and this kind of thing, right? And I almost feel like for you, it felt like you were a spectator to all of this. Maybe you were a middle child, right? This happens to middle children a lot, I think, where, the first kid kind of, goes through the learning process with their parents, right? And the second child kind of, maybe doesn't get all of the consideration the older or the younger child does. Then the baby comes along, and that's the baby of the family, and so on. So I feel like, instead of letting this kind of really give you a complex and making you feel left out or forgotten in other parts of your life, I feel like you developed a real independence. I think you kind of got to this place where kind of like, I'm not going to wait around for somebody to notice me. I'm not going to wait for somebody to chase me or need me. I'm going to just make the fulfillment that I want in my life, right? I'm going to be the change that I want to see. I'm going to be the person that I needed, right? And I feel like even though this isn't ideal, but sometimes, right, we can take our ordeals, our circumstances, and we can put them to use. For me, and I think this is the one that stands out the most for me, is, well, you know, I lived in poverty for most of my adult life, right? And I think a lot of us do. Right? Just living paycheck to paycheck, trying to just eke something out. And that is a huge burden to anybody who has lived in those circumstances, especially if it's like prolonged. It's just like, this is it, right? This is how it's going to be. But we can decide. We can decide to make use of what we do have, right? And I'm not romanticizing poverty. It sucks. I know. I remember, you know, even, gosh, I was not college age. I was much older. I remember planning out, okay, I can make it through like the next like 5 days if I only eat, you know, like 1.5 ramens a day or whatever, you know? And that's just the reality of things for some people. And it, you know, and it's not pretty. It's not, you know, some like minimalist chic, you know, Instagram thing. No, it's hard and it sucks. But we learn how to do with what we do have, right? We empower ourselves. And now, you know, I'm not rich by any means, but I figured out how to do as much as I can with very little. And I feel powerful in that. Am I scared to be in poverty again? I mean, kinda, yeah, but not at the same time. No, because guess what? I know I'm gonna make it work no matter what. No matter what. And so, you know, I'm looking at the situation you have going here in these tea leaves, and I think it's like you don't feel sorry for yourself. You don't feel bad for yourself. Yeah, would it have been nice to like be the other golden child, or to everybody have the equal attention and resources and you know, time and love and all that? Of course. It didn't work out that way. And you're not going to let it make you a victim. You're not going to let it ruin your life. It's not going to stunt your you know, your growth as a being. In fact, I think it gave you the ability and the fuel to just make whatever you wanted to with your being, with your existence. You didn't wait around for somebody to anoint you with the ability to do what you got to do or do what you want to do. No, you just went out and did it. And I think that is, you know, that's really, I always say this. I don't want to romanticize suffering. Life is hard. And it's not always pretty. But dang it, when I meet somebody who has, you know, really, and it is the wand energy. It's that Queen of Wand energy, really. Has walked through the flames. Has been through some things. Has gone through the ordeals. And they have fortified themselves. Ooh, That's a powerful person. That's the kind of person I want to stand next to. That's the kind of person I want to know. And so, let's take a look. We have the letter E keeps coming up here. Here. Now this one's weird, but I have to point it out because, my goodness, I was like, what is that? It looks like Mr. Peanut. Now, if you are older like me, you know who that is, right? Mr. Peanut with the little cowboy hat on. Little cowboy boots on. Here's the body. And I don't know. I can't really speculate on what exactly that means, although you might have some kind of connection to Mr. Peanut. I don't know. Maybe you really like peanuts. It sounds good right now, actually. Like those cans of peanuts or whatever. I never buy those. But they sound good. They absolutely do. So if you have any kind of relationship, memory, or whatever with the Mr. Peanut or the brand, I guess, again, let me know. Tell me all about it. Because that one, I had to laugh a little bit. I was like, what is that? What is that? Why are you showing up, Mr. Peanut? Okay, so we have October. Look at that. OCT, October, which, listen, we're right on the cusp of. So perfect timing, tea leaves. You're following along in your calendar. You know what's going on. Now we have, it looks like a wolf, and we have a serpent, okay, kind of meeting beneath the moon. So we have knowledge and we have primal instinct, and that's really what comes through here. So I do feel like this is a place where you are working towards maybe kind of refining your reactions, your coping mechanisms. I feel like because we're talking about how independent you are, I feel like you maybe have a tendency to detach from things. Like when it starts to get in a realm of uncomfortable, or like it's getting too real with somebody, or you just aren't feeling it and you don't want to talk about it and I'm just done with this, you're good at the cutoff. Really good at being like, I don't need you. I can take care of myself. Right? And I get it. I totally get it. I feel like I'm very much the same. But does it always benefit us to be in this posture? I don't know. I don't think so. I think sometimes it really limits our ability to learn from a situation, but also just to be close to people, right? When we're ready to just be up out of there at any sign of trouble, yeah, that's not going to last very long. Because listen, knowing somebody, if they're a friend, if you work with them, if they're, your significant other, if you're dating or whatever, yeah, we're always going to have, not always, but right, there's a likelihood that at some point we're going to have some trouble with each other. We're going to disagree. We're going to see things differently. We're going to sometimes hurt each other's feelings, or, do something that the other person doesn't like, or whatever. And if we're just ready to be like, okay, cool, well, I guess that didn't work out, bye, how do we build meaningful relationships? It's a hard instinct to kind of push up back against, right? To not take off, to not go and do your own thing. So I think that this is a time where maybe you're thinking about, how can I be a little more tolerant of the difficulties or the uncomfortable moments, okay? Now we have IT, okay? IT, it could be initials, it could be, you know, something to do with computer stuff. I know, this is shameful. I'm like, something to do with the interwebs. I don't know. Something to do with IT, I guess. We have an illuminating candle. And actually, you know what? Let's ask. Let's ask the cards. We're going to go over here to the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. What does this IT have to do with? Give me some clarity. Let's see where we're going here. All right. We're going to do probably 6 of them. Okay, so we have authority. Isolation. Yes, I see. Order. Okay. 3 more. Give them to me. Excitement. Yes. Acquisition. Okay. Okay, so I think that this is really about you, and that is with that serpent and that wolf, right? You're really trying to break out of like your natural instinct, right? And I think a lot of it is isolation. Okay, something gets weird or feels strange or the vibe's off. Immediately, I'm out. I can do this myself. I don't need your help. I don't, whatever. It was nice to know you. Thanks for all the fish. Goodbye, right? But I think that really, I feel like there's this real, like, moment of clarity where maybe it's not that I need to just like cut off these people or these relationships, these, entanglements. Maybe this is really more about, first of all, doing some kind of self-archaeology, getting into the histories, right? Maybe therapy, maybe counseling, maybe looking at old stuff, right? Traumas, hurts, whatever. Those things that we do in therapy, right? But I think really what it comes down to is having your life in such a way that you feel very activated in your world. That you feel like this is the way that I want things and I feel good here. Creating an environment where, you can maybe become so comfortable that you become actually more willing and fluid and versatile to take on some change, some uncertainty, some vulnerability. Okay? So I feel like the order here is about really getting your life set up in such a way where you feel stability. You feel safe. You feel firmly planted on the ground, but head in the clouds, still dreaming, innovating, all of that. Okay? And I think as these things kind of come together, there is this definite feeling of ease and maybe even like an openness to, yes, maybe I can really connect with somebody now. Maybe I am at this place in my life where I'm feeling more confident in myself. I know what I'm doing. I know what I want. I know what I'm willing to give. Okay? I'm willing to maybe explore things and go outside of my comfort zone to some degree while also abiding my boundaries. Okay? And I think really, in letting yourself outside of the normal way of, just kind of you against the world. And really that's what it feels like. I think you find a new normal, right? And it comes back around to the practicality of it all. It can feel nerve-wracking. It can feel overwhelming. and exciting, and you are kind of taking acquisition of a new life, right? But you find stability in the practical things, the mundane, in the, the washing of clothes, cleaning of toilets, making dinner, going for a walk, going to work, whatever it is, your routine, okay? And yeah, I do. I find you really coming into a place of power for yourself, becoming a little bit more open, right? And honestly, I feel like having the confidence and strength to imagine new worlds for yourself. And I think that's the most wonderful part of all of this. Now, we're going to pick 3 lucky numbers. I'm going to roll our 100-sided die, and it's huge. It's like bigger than a golf ball. And we're just going to see what are our 3 numbers. Okay, so we have number 2. 2, 3. We have number 3. 55. All right, 2, 3, 55. I have not had any single digit numbers yet, so that's cool. Now what's next? Oh yes, we're gonna finish with our inner child oracle. Inner child oracle, and this is from Amanda Lynn Aisling. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Amanda. I'm just really bad at pronouncing. I'm bad at pronouncing, reading things aloud. In my head, they sound perfect. Not so much when I express them, utter them out loud. So we're just going to use this as like a punctuation for the reading. Okay. I'm going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. Here we go. And it says 30. Say yes. Yeah, my favorite Elliott Smith song. Say yes. Say yes. Now is the time to be open and receive. So I feel like this, goodness, this is it, right? I feel like this whole reading is really just about opening up self, okay? Finding a way to kind of just allow yourself a little bit more room, And that's not an easy process. It's easier said than done. There are plenty of times when I really fancy myself being a very open and vulnerable person. I'm very spiritual and I'm very earthy. I'm a Virgo, after all. But then I get into situations, like especially out in the real world, when I'm out in the wild, talking to people who I have no idea anything about them, It's like I meet all these people from my daughter's activities, right? And yeah, we're just like from different worlds, kind of, and yet we are the same, right? And I become so closed off. I don't talk about, like, anything I talk about on here, I would not talk to random people about, about it. I don't know what it is. I just get really, in my own mind. Like, are they going to judge me? Am I going to embarrass my daughter? Like, maybe they'll think that I'm crazy or, whatever it is. And it's like so limiting. It's so limiting. So I try to open myself. So I'm with you. And I'm on the same kind of journey, trying to figure out how to, feel comfortable and confident in just being who I am with people who I'm not comfortable with necessarily, right? Now, they haven't done anything really to make me uncomfortable. I'm perceiving my discomfort, right? I'm perceiving the fact that, oh yeah, they probably will think that I'm a weirdo, or, you know, my job is strange, or, you know, our family's different. We are. And it is different, and it is kind of strange, and it is weird, but that's awesome. You know? And so, I get it. I understand. It is, you know, a journey a lot of us are on. So, Gemini, I love you. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel a lot. If you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. Also, if you want to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. 100%. Yeah, other than that, I just want to say again, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days. Good night. Good night. Good night.